Professor Wilfred Riley wrote a book called Hate Crime Hoax: How the Left is Selling a Fake Race War. He put together a database of hate crime allegations, over 300 of them going back in recent years, by searching for relevant terms like hate crime, campus hate crime allegation, and hate crime controversy. He concluded that fewer than a third of these cases were actual hate crimes. Are you aware of the recent hate crime that occurred just days ago at Kit Carson International Academy in Sacramento, California?
New tonight, a dozen racist and offensive materials were found on a Sacramento City Unified campus this morning. An investigation revealed 2 students are responsible, and now the district is responding to concerned parents.
I got physically ill when I saw the depiction.
Another racist incident on a Sacramento City Unified campus. Fake money printed out and distributed around Kit Carson International Academy featuring derogatory images.
There was a portrait depicting some horrific impression of what an African American looks like. And there was language used as part of these N-word bucks that were very demeaning.
As you heard in the newscast, a phony dollar bill containing bigoted slurs and racial imagery was discovered circulating at the school. School officials were outraged and launched an inquiry into what happened. They considered the act a hate crime targeting black students. The counterfeit currency, again, as you heard, contained a racist, anti-black caricature, the N-word, and a website that featured discriminatory language. Additionally, the fake money reportedly was to be used to purchase fried chicken and alcohol. But there was a twist, and Christopher Tremoli of the Washington Examiner is here to tell us about it. Okay, Christopher, break the suspense. What's the twist?
All right, but wait, there's more, right? So,
but wait, there's more.
It turns out that the perpetrators who did this were not the racist white people that the authorities were leading everyone to believe, but it turned out there was 2 black students at the high school as well. Not as well. There was 2 black students at the high school that did this, and it's just that part didn't really seem to get the widespread scrutiny or media attention. But the only thing that did kind of get the attention was that the racist incident did occur.
What was their motive, Chris? And what, if anything, happened to them?
They were suspended. And I've read different motives. Don't have a definitive on that. I read they were just trying to be funny. I know the teachers cracked down on the students, and they said that we live in a horrible time and they shouldn't be doing this. And they have to. The one thing that I actually found was funny is they said that teachers have to do more educating to people so they know the damages these things have caused. And my argument to that was, no more education, because your education has led to people doing things like this. And teachers, of course, will never see it that way. The left will never see it that way. But they're like indoctrination and brainwashing of trying to create this perpetual victimization, and you're only celebrated, it seems, if you are a victim of something. That's the education that's going on. That's the environment and atmosphere that has led to this.
Now, I mentioned this professor named Wilfred Riley. He wrote a book documenting hundreds, over 300 recent hate crime hoaxes. And you have to ask yourself, if racism is such a real problem in America, why would so many people fake hate racial crimes?
Yeah, right. If it's so bad, if it's such an unwelcoming country and horrific society, then why do they have to keep on making it up? Exactly right. And Dr. Riley, and I spoke to him about another incident that occurred in Tennessee last week that I'll be coming out right about this week as well. But it's just he's brilliant. He put out the book Hate Crime Hoaxes, and he talks about it all the time on the social media. He's probably one of the only consistent people to point these things out regularly in the media, and he finds them all over the country because the mainstream media doesn't report the hoax part. They'll only report the initial story and the characters, the racial slurs, but they never, conveniently never seem to follow up when they're exposed as being hoaxes, or if they do, it's a quick story and it's never covered again.
There have been so many of these in recent years, the big high-profile ones like Jussie Smollett. By the way, did anything ever happen to him?
Well, wasn't he was arrested and put in jail, and then he was released because he claimed psychiatry issues? I remember, I know he was originally arrested, but then nothing. It turned out to basically be just like a slap on the wrist for all the
Right.
that are caused. For Vice President Harris going out saying it was like a modern day lynching and turned out to be bogus. Nothing really. He kind of got away with it and just kind of like faded into oblivion until he could probably, I'm guessing, reemerge later after enough time has passed.
Bubba Wallace, the NASCAR driver, said he had a noose on his garage door. Turned out it was just a pull that's used to close the door. Really?
That turned an entire organization upside down. Like all of NASCAR was coming out. I think even presidential candidate Nikki Haley came out and offered her sympathies to Bubba Wallace for having to go through seeing a garage pull being a hate crime. So everyone, that nothing happened to him. It's a little different with Bubba Wallace because I don't think he wasn't in on the whole thing, so he didn't fake it. He just had like a fake outrage and was like taken aback. But if you remember, like all of NASCAR was going around, they still it's just like this constant overreaction and constant perpetuating this victimization that not going out and calling these things when they're fake. And I think if they did, people would realize like when you have these reports would initially take back and say, well, hold on, let's not rush to conclusion on it. Let's not rush to judgment and figure out all the details. But that doesn't fit with the left-leaning narrative or the mentality in society that they're trying to create.
What's that? The great Eldersky still has a pair of beautiful tan My Slippers? So comfortable you'll wonder why you ever used anything else, especially bare feet. These come in different colors, also different styles. And you'll note there are over 100 different products. Just call the number on your screen or go to mypillow.com, promo code ELDER. And this guy is the brand new MyPillow 2.0. Better than the 1.0. Never have you slept on anything more comfortable. Call the number on your screen, order the new MyPillow 2.0, or go to mypillow.com, promo code ELDER. And here is a 6-pack set of towels that work, meaning towels that actually absorb water. Isn't that what you want towels to do? These do that. They come in different colors. Again, mypillow.com, call the number on your screen, or just go to mypillow.com, promo code ELDER. And here, finally, is the Giza Dream bedsheet made from cotton in Giza, which is in Egypt. Why? Because it is where the finest cotton in the world is found. Mine comes in white because, after all, I am the black face of white supremacy, but you're not. You may want a different color. And also, these sheets, of course, come in different sizes because beds come in different sizes. Again, call the number on your screen or go to mypillow.com, promo code ELDER. That's mypillow.com, promo code ELDER. Chris, some years ago, USA Today ran a series of front page articles claiming that racists were burning black churches, to the point where people were raising money. The station that I worked for was raising money to help these black churches because, after all, they were being targeted by these racist arsonists. Turned out that a large number of these burnings were because people burned the churches because of copycats. They found out that a lot of churches in rural areas were wood, and that's why they chose them, not because they were black churches. Some number of them were actually set by black people, and it turned out more white churches, mosques, and synagogues were burned over that same period than black churches. It was a big, fat lie that ginned up the whole country.
Yeah. And they do it purposely to create outrage, to advance narratives that aren't true. Also, they could, Democrats and the left, so also they can do this to kind of influence public opinion to amass political power. I mean, that's the reason why Al Sharpton is still around. And, after all the shenanigans that he's pulled and been exposed and wrong about. I mean, you go back to Duke Lacrosse, Tawana Brown.
Right.
This has been going on for literally decades at this point. And, while hate crimes are serious and they should be taken seriously, it should also be pointed out when they're hoaxes and why they're hoaxes. And like we said at the beginning here, if things are so bad in this country, and this country is so racist, and there's so many white people that just hate non-white people, then why do these numerous fake incidents occur, and they occur with such regularity.
And finally, Christopher, even the death of George Floyd, which caused 4 months of protests in the streets of many cities in America in 2020, May, June, July, some 2,000 people injured, over 35 people killed, billions of dollars of property damage. There is zero evidence that whatever Derek Chauvin did to George Floyd was because of George Floyd's race.
Exactly.
The lead prosecutor was a black man, and in his opening statement, he took pains to say the police in general were not on trial. The Minneapolis PD in general was not on trial. This individual was on trial, and George Floyd's killer was never charged with a hate crime. Yet 4 months of protests in the streets of America, all because of this assertion, completely unproven, indeed denied by the lead prosecutor, that the death of George Floyd was motivated by George Floyd's race.
4 months of protest and 2 years of revisionist history, and politicians going out and saying that, this was all because of racism, and we need to, do all these societal changes, implementing critical race theory. Like, all this was the result of the fake narrative that George Floyd was killed because of his race, which, like, as you said, was not true. He was never charged with a hate crime, and that just kind of was automatically assumed because he was a black man killed by died in police custody, and it's just like that's part of the left-wing propaganda that dominates mainstream society and is purposely advanced by the left so that you create a narrative and amass political power.
And again, neither you nor I are saying that hate crimes don't take place. What we're saying is when they're fake, and a large number of them are, they should be called out.
Absolutely.
Chris Tremoli, Washington Examiner, as always. Chris, thank you very much for coming on. God bless.
Thanks for having me.
Now, I know you love the show, so please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get our subscriptions up. And scroll down, get on our mailing list, because from time to time, believe it or not, YouTube has issues with our vids. I don't know why, but to make sure you don't miss any, get on our mailing list. And also, you see that little round button there? It says donate. Throw a little something in the tip jar. Make sure we can keep getting you candid, hard-hitting, honest programming. Finally, Larry with Epoch, EPOCH.com. That's Larry with Epoch.com. I'm Larry Elder. This is the Larry Elder Show for Epoch Times. Remember, we've got a country to save. I'll see you next time.